Hi folks, Danny here with PARTAY. So welcome back. Today we got a couple items that we're going to cover over. We're going to start today with some Q&A. So I've got some emails that I'd received from a couple of folks that I highlighted I wanted to cover off on today. So the first one here is from Ron. It says, are there any combination of projector screens that will work outdoors in the sunlight between noon and 5 p.m. when the light is at its brightest? I look forward to hearing back. So let me address this. Now, when you look online, what you're going to find is information is all over the place. So there's very little that you can completely count on, because you'll see that in some articles it lists that you can do this with a 2500 lumen projector, you can do it with a 4000 lumen projector. So let me cut to the chase. Essentially, your image will start to degrade whenever you get to about a quarter of the overall projector lux in ambient light. Okay, so any light, whether it's direct, ambient, whatever, once you get to about a quarter of what your total lux from the projector to the screen is, then your image is going to start to degrade. Now, here's some things to keep in mind. The sun is generally going to put out anywhere between, on a normal day, 30 to 100, about 130, a little less than that, about 127,000 lux. Okay, that's massive. All right. Now, for example, the Optima HD143X in Eco puts out roughly about 400 lux to the screen, okay, with a good bulb. So you think about that, right? That's 400 lux that it's putting out. You could, on a bright sunny day in the middle of an open space, you would be dealing with anywhere from 100 to 120 something thousand lux on a bright day. It's not cloudy, not overcast. So there is not a projector made that is going to help you. Not in bright direct sunlight. All right. But then there's a lot of variables, because outside is much more dynamic than inside. You've got so many things that you have to quantify. One, if you remember our trilogy, you've got projector, you've got the screen, and the environment. That's the most hostile environment that you would ever deal with. You're not going to project in broad open daylight and be able to watch anything. Okay. But if you're looking to do it in a contained space, like maybe a covered porch or a covered building, right, where it's open on the sides, but you do have a roof and you would be able to provide some semblance of shade, then according to what the lux is in that area, you would be able to project given the right amount of lumens, right? And so that's going to vary because it's going to depend upon what the lux is in that environment. But we're going to do some stuff. Ken, that gave me, or excuse me, Ron, that gave me an idea on what we can do as an episode. And what we're going to do is we're going to check at different points through the day. I'm going to use 3000 lumens, and we're going to check at different points of the day using a white screen versus a pro gain screen. And we're going to let you see what the variances can be there. Okay. So we'll try to answer that for you in a visual so that you can see what may be possible. And then we'll give you some calculations that'll help you along that line too. But if you're talking about just taking a screen, throwing it out in the middle of a field, hitting it with a projector and expecting to be able to watch something, that will not happen. Okay. Not in bright sunlight of midday. And then last, I had one from Tyler. It says, I saw your YouTube video about black screen paint and would like to try it out for my basement theater projector. Right now, I have the option to spray or roll on since the basement is currently under construction. I have subscribed to your channel. Thank you very much. And I really appreciate you sharing your findings with all of us. So, Tyler, I'll be reaching out to you. Yeah, I've got... it's according to what you mean by black. So I have blacks that I make, which I only make specular blacks. I don't deal with non-specular blacks. There's no reason to, because you can make it yourself. So I will send you a couple of variations on a black recipe that you can use that will for one, you'll be able to do it for very inexpensive. Okay, so you're going to be talking maybe $12, $15 at most, and then how you can mix that together. And there's a couple of different variations I'll help you with on that. As far as black specular screens, we haven't launched those yet, but we will be. So if you're interested in something like that, just hold tight and we'll be showing you that soon enough. All right. So that's the Q&A questions I'd highlighted today. There's a few more. Most were about when are we going to open the carts back up for people to purchase, and that'll be happening over the weekend. Thank you guys for being patient. I had, like I said, a number of things that I had to do, working on my son's weddings. So it's been very good to be able to get some of that behind me, and look forward to just kind of being proud papa sitting there watching my boys, right? Next thing. I have, this is a prototype of a material that I found, and this is just a screen that I made. Kelly's father's actually moved down here from Chicago after Jason's mother passed away. I'd shared that with everyone. So he's moving down here. He's here now, but he's going to be going back for, to grab stuff and things like that. And then he's going to be coming back, and he's going to take up housing with Jay. But I made him a screen for his room, and just wanted to share with you guys that I found this material. Now, this is a material that's used a lot by teachers, and it's called Better Than Paper. You can find it at hobby shops. You can find it online. You can find it at Amazon. And now this particular brand, Better Than Paper, is very, very good so far. It's extremely durable. It's almost like a plastic itself. And I was able to, you can see here, it took the coating very well. Now, the first coat, I had to put a thin layer on and go back and roll it a few times just to get it to stay spread. And I'm going to show you some tricks on that, because you've been told to do other things, and there's an easier way to manage when you're trying to paint a surface and it's not taking the material. There's a very easy way to do that. It takes a few little steps, but you won't wear yourself out. So I'll share that with you soon. But this material here, I was able to make a nice little border with it. And as you can see, the very little texture on the material itself. Very little texture. So, worked out really, really nice. I want to put it up. My concern is whether or not you'll be able to tension it out well. As long as we can tension it out well, then I think this is going to be a beautiful option for people to use where you can't hang a screen. Why? Because not only is this pretty durable stuff, teachers use it to put things on like their billboards and things like that. But there's another version of this that's bigger, and it will accommodate up to a 120-inch screen, where most of your 4x8 material, that's it, right? You're not going to get a full 100-inch. You're going to get a 98-inch at best. And that's the problem with 4x8 materials. You're never going to even be able to reach a 100-inch 16x9 screen, which is the most popular screen size, period. But there is material that's made in 120-inch. So we're going to check that out. We'll report back to you how it does, how it tensions against the wall. If it does okay, then we'll recommend it as a surface to move forward. So far, everything's good. It's just a matter of making sure that it does everything we need it to. All right. And then, actually, I need to take a break. So you guys watch this, and we'll be right back.
The dumbest bird in the world. Sasha Gray, I'm gonna sue somebody today. Lawsuit for you. Yeah, that's what I want. Back your product now. This has been the dumbest bird in the world.
All right. So, guys, let me just go ahead and lay out our next 3 episodes. We're going to be covering knockoff projectors next, definitely with recent events. I want to touch on knockoff projectors. What is really a knockoff projector, and are these truly knockoff projectors, or is it just an opinion that they're knockoff projectors? So we'll have a talk about what's truly a knockoff projector, and I'll lay things out on some of these projectors as more opinion, just based on, let's start at the bar. Start the bar at home theater. And you've got a lot underneath that, right? So we'll talk about what that is before we get into the home theater components. And then we're going to do a color match on all the PARTAY products. So that's going to be not the next, but the following episode. We're going to do a color match. All color match paints to PARTAY products. And we're going to show you what the difference is between a specular screen and daylight, and what you can expect out of a paint from the same color, right? And we'll probably throw in a couple of surprises there as well. But we're definitely wanting to make sure that you understand what the difference is and what you can expect. And then we're going to start on our third, so not the next or the next, but the third, we're going to start on outside displays. And we'll get you some information, Ron, that you can take and make some decisions on, right? But until next time, you guys take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.